Well, hello friends, this is Julie Manson from Gem Ministries International, and we're going to carry on our discussions, our short videos. These are only really 3 to 6 minute long videos, just a brief introduction to each of the topics. And today's topic is about not your father's covenant, and that might seem an unusual title, but we're taking that scripture in Hebrews chapter 8 verses 8 and 9, which says, "Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will establish a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah, not like the covenant I made with their fathers. On that day I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt," and so it goes on. And this is quoting from book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, and verse 31. And so the topic that we're going to look at today is that we have a better covenant than the covenant that the Hebrews had, well, the covenant that God established with the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Not like your father's covenant, which is the title of our little chat today. So this covenant that they had with their father, which we call the Old Covenant, was a covenant that brought condemnation by performance. If you didn't perform satisfactory, you were condemned. The New Covenant, in contrast, brings the right standing with God through faith. The Old Covenant was a conditional covenant with frightening penalties for its disobedience, and we can read about those in Deuteronomy chapter 28. The New Covenant is unconditional. It's God's initiative, and it rests on the promises that He and He alone has made. The Old Covenant in itself could not provide for absolute forgiveness. There was a Day of Atonement where once a year the children of Israel would come and make atonement for their sins. But the New Covenant is the only covenant that can completely do away with and completely forgive sins. The Old Covenant did not impart spiritual life. The New Covenant is life. The Old Covenant's purpose was to define and magnify sin. The New Covenant's purpose is to magnify Jesus. The Old Covenant led to bondage. The New Covenant sets us free. The Old Covenant was external. It gave in no help in meeting its demands. You entirely had to perform to meet the demands of the Old Covenant. The New Covenant is put directly into our minds, and it's written on our hearts. We are given a new heart within us. The Old Covenant was limited to one nation, the nation of Israel. The New Covenant invites everyone, everywhere, to know God personally. The old was temporary, the new is forever. Jesus, the God-man, is higher than the angels. We talked a little about this when we looked at Melchizedek. Jesus is a greater apostle than Moses, and he is a more perfect priest than Aaron and Melchizedek. He brings us the better covenant with better sanctuary and offers us better sacrifice with better results. And that is the basis of better covenant theology, and I will share a little bit more about that in some other video. So this is Julie Mansell from Gem Ministries International, and that is a little brief introduction about what the new covenant actually is, that it's not your father's covenant. Blessings, catch up with you later.